I'm about to do a complete service on this machine, and I'm going to show you. I've done some videos about this, but there's some people who kind of struggle on this, doing this. I'm going to show you how I do it, because we're going to drain the track drives and get them changed too. So I've got that one lined up. Of course, I'm by myself, but it's still very simple to do it. I'm gonna pick it up, pick the machine up off the ground a little bit. And then I'm gonna get down. So this track is up off the ground. We got to get those holes right there lined up on that final drive. The way that I do this, go ahead and pull the safety back on, stand right here beside the tracks up off the ground, and you can pull the or push the lever right there. What you want is, you want this one right here on the bottom, or that one on the bottom. It doesn't matter, either one. Let me get it right on the bottom. See, I'll spin it all the way around. So it doesn't matter if you've got it like that right there either. It doesn't matter which one of these goes on the bottom, that's fine. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna drain out of this one, and then you're gonna take that plug out. Of course, you'll have this plug out too. So once you drain it, then you'll put this plug back in, and then you'll fill it from right here till it runs out right there. Then you put those two back in. It's real simple to do, and like I said, just like how I did it just then to line it up. So then we're gonna stand up here and we're gonna set it back down on the ground. Real easy. Let me get the, hang on, I'm gonna spin it all the way around where it'll be sitting right. She's all set up right. Now I'm gonna take the air hose and we're gonna blow these holes out on these Allens. These are just metric Allens. Hang on. And also clean, blow around them too. It's got an O-ring seal in it. I think it's O-ring. Might just be metal to metal, I can't remember. Let's get this side here too. So I've run it. That's 90 weight of oil in there. I've run it a good bit a while ago, so they're good and warm. The oil should flow right out. Also, I'm going to show you how to tension the tracks on it too, the right way. Let's see what side. I think it's an 8mm, I believe. So it is an 8mm. So it's still slap full. Let's see that. Take this one out and let it drain. Looks good. So they do have an O-ring on them. It don't take it but a second to drain. It don't hold but a few ounces. I forget. I mean, it's not even a quart that it holds. We're gonna go ahead and put that one back in. Snug it up pretty good. Now we're gonna take this one out. Sit it right there. And then we're going to fill it till it comes out of that hole there. All three of those plugs are the same. Some people change this every 50 hours. I don't really see it necessary to change it that often. I change it when I service the machine, when I change the oil in it. See, it's coming up. It's about to come out right there. I'm gonna run it till it. See it running out? Clean it off there real good so there's no oil on it. We'll go around and do the other side now. So this thing's got a cover right here, but you don't have to take it out. So too big. That's it right there. This is the engine oil we're about to dump out of it. Watch it end up getting all over me. Too bad. Let it drain. Alright, now we're going to change the oil filter. It's right there. Use this little tool here to get it to spin off. What's on there now is all Napa stuff. The fuel filter, oil filter, all that's Napa. I'm going back with the Kubota, and the reason why is just merely the convenience of it, because last year, nothing against Napa or anything, Napa Brent got me all the part numbers for that stuff, but the Napa stuff, I ended up having to go back twice to the store to get all my filters because they had to order them. They didn't have them in stock. So like I said, merely the convenience, because I can walk into the dealer here local and walk right out with all these filters at one time, not having to make, you know, multiple trips and things like that. So this thing grabs this filter just right. Spin it off quick. Get this on, we'll be ready to refill it with motor oil and then crank it. I'll crank it before I change the fuel filter on it. I love these funnels. You can get them at any parts house. Keep the caps on, they stay clean. Check it real quick before I put that last bit in there. Once it fills up the oil filter, pumps it full, it'll be just right. So 2.5 gallons, this was a half gallon right here. for a little bit, and then I'll shut it down and recheck it. Love the little Kubota engines. They are they're tough. They're good, fuel efficient. Do a very good job. Check here. That's perfect. And now we'll do the fuel filter. Fuel filter's right here. We've got a sensor, water sensor. Gotta pop off. Got that undone. Okay. See how tight it is. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. I got to change that plastic piece, put it back on the bottom there. No biggie. So you gotta swap this thing over to the new filter. You got a new, it comes with a new O-ring. Be sure and change that out. And just screw it in there. Snug it up real good. You ain't gotta get down on it or nothing, just snug is all. And then just screw it back on. This machine actually has a little electric fuel pump on it, so it'll fill this. All I gotta do is turn the key on, it'll fill this fuel filter. Let me stick this down in here. Where it'll be where it'll spin. There we go. Yeah, I need to get it started. Ah, hit my thumb. Gee. It hurt. All right. Good on that. Now we're going to turn the key, let the electric fuel pump run. All right, she should crank. We'll see. So next on the agenda, there's a filter inside here. I believe it is the pilot filter for the hydraulic system. It's a little cartridge that goes inside that canister. On the bottom of it is a like a made-on bolt head that you can stick a socket on and screw it right off. So we're going to change it. So that's what that little filter looks like. That's inside of that canister right there. That's it. Just slides in there and then you screw it back on. So the oil plug on this thing, on the engine oil, is a 22 millimeter, in case you're wanting to know. And the socket that fits this thing is a 24 millimeter. Have to be careful, don't shove your wrench through the through your cooler right there. Well, of course, my ratchet's long enough to where it won't hit that piece of metal. It's probably gonna stay on there. So there it is. Snug it real good. All right, next is the hydraulic oil return filter. It's a little more interesting to do it because you got to take the cover off the top of the hydraulic tank to get to it. This takes a little bit of effort on this one because of stuff you got to take off of. Most, unless you've got a case drain line, and you got a 57 like mine, KX057-4, you're not going to have this on there. There's just going to be a plug in there. But I have this because I've got the rotorbed grapple on it. So I just take that case drain off. This is a return hydraulic filter. That is what this is. Stick a rag in it just to kind of insurance, so nothing goes down in there. Take them out with an impact, put them back in by hand, because you do not want to strip one of these out. I wish there was a better way to do this on the return filter, but it's it is what it is on this. Make sure all this is clean. I've taken air and brake cleaner both and clean this top off as good as I can. Okay. Out. If you drop something in the tank, go get it with a magnet. And this is messy too, y'all. Pull it out. You lean it over. I mean, it's just barely enough room. There we go. All right, now I have to take this thing apart to get this filter on it, so I'll be back. All right, now to put it back in, what I did not show is the filter. You gotta take this bolt out and then take this lock off, and then the filter unscrews off this tube. So you really need you a vise to put it in to do it. It's very helpful if you do. So then you just slide it right back down in the tank, let it go right back in. Now this thing also, this is a return filter. It has a suction filter over there on that side, and it comes out through the same hole right here. But it's just a metal screen filter, and there's really no need in changing it unless you've had something go wrong with the machine and it's had some metal go through it. I wouldn't worry with changing it, because like I said, it's a metal screen. You could actually take it out and take brake cleaner and blast it out and it'd be fine. So that's what you could do, because it, you know, you can just reuse that filter. These just need to be snug is all. Then put these back on. Oop. All right, so the only other filter now to do is just the air filter, and I'm gonna pull them out, look at them and see what they look like, and if they need tending to, I'll change them out. If not, we'll just blow them out, see what they look like. A little bit of stuff right there in the cover. Yeah, it's a Napa filter too. Let me pull it out. All right, air filter's still good. I just knocked it out, put a little air on it, and we're gonna put it right back in there and get the cover on it. All right, it ain't nothing but just a few simple tools, nothing special that you would have to have. That's crazy. I gotta top off that hydraulic oil now and get it back up where it needs to be. Changing that filter and losing a little bit in that filter made it drop down, but just a little bit of time and you can save yourself a lot of money on make sure I tighten this up. I'm pretty sure I did on a service. You know, getting it taken to a dealer or anything like that, because I mean it's nothing to it, just a little bit of time. Probably took me about an hour start to finish, if a little less than that. So there you go. This is the last thing I'm doing to this machine. I need to check the tracks on it. I just checked the one on the other side. I thought it might need adjusting, but it's actually in spec, it's okay. This one here is a little bit, just a little bit out of spec. So to do it, you got to take this bolt out right there, and it opens that cover, and there's a, you see that grease fitting right there? So between the metal on the track right there, I'm not sticking my finger up under it, between the metal on the track and this roller, it's supposed to be roughly a ½ inch of clearance between there is what it's supposed to be, anywhere from 0.4 to 0.6 of an inch. So I usually set it about a ½ inch. The way that you tighten that up and make it go up is you pump grease into that grease fitting, and it pushes that idler out up there on the front, makes the track pull up. It's very important to keep these tracks tightened the way that they're supposed to be tightened, because that is the life of your track. So I'm gonna take a grease gun real quick and pump it and get it fixed, so I'll let y'all watch. All right, so watch the track come up as I pump the grease in it. So that's all it is to it, to adjust the tracks on them. Make sure they're in spec. Like I said, it's really important on these because it'll make them last a lot longer. So that's a complete service job on a mini excavator there. So about an hour is about all it takes. You need to check them tracks. Depending on how much you run it, you know, you do it. Once you run it right off the bat, 10-20 hours or so, check them then when it's brand new. And then, you know, every 50 hours or so after that, I'd recommend checking them, picking it up and checking it. You got to pick it up, get that track off the ground to be able to do it. But see, it's completely off the ground right now. So I'm gonna get this thing out of here, sweep this floor dry, because I actually spilled a good bit of oil in here a while ago when I was messing around with it. But I dropped a little small pan that had a drive oil in it. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed that. If you like my stuff, please subscribe to me, give me a thumbs up. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.